Hello and welcome to Junior Achievement's virtual speaker series. Today, our topic is going to be mobile banking, and our guest today has over 28 years of experience in the banking and financial industry. Please help me welcome Frank Natoli. Frank, how are you today?
Doing well. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And I know we're going to have many words of wisdom for our students. So I guess technology has changed an awful lot over the years, and banking and the financial industry as well. So I know our topic today is mobile banking. So would you mind explaining to our students what that is?
Sure. Happy to do that. And let me give you a quick history lesson, right? In maybe 30 seconds or less. 50 years ago, banking was all around how can we expand beyond the brick and mortar, the physical branch. And so the ideas of ATMs came around where you could get cash from a device. And then, in the late 90s, this idea of computers started to really expand, whether that was at home, at a personal computer, and then ultimately to a mobile phone or to a mobile device. And really, it focuses on convenience. It's a way to transact and to provide an interaction between you and the bank without having to physically go into a brick and mortar or a branch location.
Excellent. So why would we use and when would we use mobile versus going into, as you said, a physical branch?
Well, it's a great question. Mobile devices really around convenience. So with a mobile device, you can bank really anywhere. You could do it at 9 o'clock at night. You could be laying in bed. You could be on the beach. You could be shopping. You could be literally anywhere your mobile device has a connection. So it offers a huge level of convenience compared to having to physically go to a bank. However, there's still value, and there are still physical brick and mortar, branch locations, because oftentimes that more in-depth kind of detailed conversation is sought after. More complex transactions, physical exchange of cash. You can't do that with a mobile device, but you can when you physically go into a branch. So if it deals with cash, and if it's a more complex kind of conversation, maybe it's around financial planning, or maybe around an investment, or maybe a more complicated loan, you really want to talk to someone and have that face-to-face interaction. There's the value of having the brick and mortar, the physical branch location. But beyond that, boy, convenience has really given the mobile device its platform and the great leverage that it offers today.
Right. And I think, like you said, personal interaction versus convenience is really the question regarding whether you use mobile banking and go into the brick and mortar, the physical branch. So I know as a parent too, we transfer, and our students probably know the apps that they can transfer money to and from. What is our information secure when we do this?
Well, it's secure. And banks have invested huge amounts of money and time and effort into technology to ensure that there's encryption protocol, that there's firewalls, and really the kind of investment that you and I could never make, in our own personal lives, that goes into ensuring that security. But beyond that, there's really a number of things that we can do as customers of a bank. When I open up my mobile app and I want to start banking, there's a number of different steps that we can take to ensure and to kind of give that heightened level of security. And I jotted down 5 things that we can do as customers whenever we open up our mobile app. And the first one is to make sure that you're keeping your passwords in a safe place, right? You don't want to put your password in a black book somewhere or on a tablet and write it down on a Post-it note and think, well, it's secure there, because it's really not. There is actually apps that can help you manage your passwords. So again, you got to put those passwords in a safe place. The second one is making sure that your device, the actual mobile phone, is kept current with its most current software, right? So if it's a computer or your phone, those regular updates are important, because whether it's a Android or an iPhone, those providers are pushing out that software because they're trying to protect us, right? And they're doing that in a way that if we don't keep current with those updates, we can lag behind. And unfortunately, predators, bad guys, hackers can get in. The third thing is really to ensure that personal information is never shared with anyone, right? So a bank should never contact you and say, Claire, can you give me your Social Security number? Can you give me your bank account number. Banks should already know that. So anytime someone contacts you, email, voicemail, a text, a bank should never be saying, please give me this, right? And so anytime someone is soliciting that information, you don't want to give it out.
Okay.
Anyone, right? The fourth thing is really around making sure that the network you're working on is secure. And here's a simple example. You don't want to go to, a coffee shop and think that that unsecured network has the protocols around it. Maybe it's okay if you want to Google something and you want to look up something and find directions to somewhere. But whenever you're transacting and you're moving cash around or, moving money, paying a bill, you don't want to be on an unsecured network. You really want to be somewhere like in your home network where it's secured. And the good thing is it pops right up. This is an unsecured network. You don't want to be banking on your mobile device when it says unsecured.
Great advice. Okay.
And finally, you want to sign up for bank alerts. So most banks offer the ability to alert you whenever there's some activity going on in your account. For example, let's say your account, more than $100 is withdrawn from your account. You can set up an alert to have a text message come to you, $100 was just removed. If you didn't remove that $100 and nobody else has access to your account, that means someone is now in your account that shouldn't be. So setting up those kind of alerts gives you that quick awareness to say, I better go in and take a look and see what's going on. So those are just some tips that I think we can use as consumers, as customers, to ensure that we're doing the very best we can around security.
Those are amazing hints. And I know as soon as those type of things happen, then you reach out to your bank and you have that conversation with someone.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. Well, this has been great advice. Thank you for sharing your experience, and hopefully you'll come back and join us again.
Happy to do so.
Thank you, Frank.